If you're looking for a G-SHOCK, I can tell you I'm that guy. I have a particular set of skills that I've collected over YouTube. Skills that turn reviews into dreams for people like you. If you lend me a watch now, that'll be the end of it. I will not pursue you. But if you don't, I will find you, I will tutorial you, and I will steal you.
As this watch is loaned from Watcho, I've got these extra long finger DOMs on, and I know it's a G-SHOCK and you don't need gloves, but the thing is, this is their watch and not mine, so I've got to be very careful. Plus, I don't want to get any fingerprints, especially on this beautiful rose gold. Another shout out to watcho.co.uk for the loan of this G-STEEL GST-B200G-2AER G-STEEL. The big difference upon first sight between the GST 100 and the 200 is the crown at the 3 o'clock. Also, it uses only one LCD display, but it's large and features an analog subdial. Other noticeable features is the big I want to press you buttons. G-SHOCK have finally listened and ticked our needs, giving us a second hand. Ion scratch resistant plated black bezel. Why ion plating? Ion plating is up to 8 times more durable than traditional plating. Less material used, which keeps the pricing down for us. Finishes are more varied, from highly polished to matte. Combined with stainless steel, this makes it the perfect rugged option for daily wear. You can maintain the look by wiping using a dry soft cloth or with mild soap using warm water. More addictiveness has been added. Now it may only have 39 CD codes built in, but when connected to the app you get 300. Stopwatch and timer are now with 24 hours. 5 alarms that now can be scheduled. No expense spared with twin LED backlighting that also gives us dial glow. This GST may have increased to 200 but has reduced width to 49.2 millimeters, with the lug-to-lug squeezed to 53.3 millimeters. Also, it's trimmed off 10 grams because it's using a fiber composite core. Instead of atomic, it's now gone hybrid, with mobile link using Bluetooth to keep it synchronized, as atomic signals aren't in every country. Now over to misarrangement. My first impressions are absolutely, I'm just blown away with how incredible this looks. I mean, this is a vast improvement over the 100 version. I mean, the 100 version is nice, but this is just up the game. This to me reminds me of an M.DD. This is really got that sort of premium look and feel about it. Now, what's your thoughts about rose gold and that very special blue, and then accompanied with that black? Now this is something that's very, very special, but it suits it, it matches it, it actually does, really does please my eye. I mean, I'm not a gold lover on watches. I don't actually own any watches that are gold. I could actually see myself wearing this, and I'm not just saying that. When I did say that, you know what I mean. Now I've got my pointy stick because I want to go through some details. Now, first off, I'm going to say that these screws here, these are called, let me have a look. I did write it down. Now, these are called tri-wings. Did I get that right? I got that right. That's called a tri-wing torque head. I hope I've got that right with a bit of research. How unusual. Now, it's designed like that so you can give it just that little bit more torque, apparently. And the screws sit in the bezel, and it really keeps it nice and flush when you're putting your thumb around that. Lovely. And then look at that bezel. I like how it's got that finish of sort of satin and brush on the front there, and on the edge it's polished. G-SHOCK is in grey along with protection. I really do like the big display. That reminds me of my Golfmaster. G-SHOCK Casio is on the side, just something a little bit different. And then it has this big sub dial here where it's indicating at the moment on the battery level. I must add that the battery indicator really does give you better information instead of the traditional of low, medium and high. This is actually got in between bits. Now, look at this, it's actually gradually moving up to full. On the other side, it shows the modes. It uses mineral crystal. I like the fact that they've kept the hour markers similar to the original from the 100 version with the depth. The 12 o'clock, it has that split in the middle. This center part here looks translucent because the actual solar panel looks like it continues up here and it goes all the way through and continues all the way around here, including here. So you have really a good surface area for solar power absorption. G-SHOCK is even matching the colors to the font on the bezel. Now, I've just noticed the second hand actually has some rose gold on the edge of that. Look at that. And look at the hands. I like how they're ended with that sort of black, and then it has the white there, and yes, that is loom. And even on that little subdial hand there, it's got the black. It's all themed. I'm really liking that. I know for some of you, you probably won't like the rose gold. If you ever get the chance to see one in the flesh, just sort of take your time to absorb all the details it offers. Because I feel like when you're looking at the, say, the black version, even this stainless steel version, you aren't seeing all those little sort of secrets and the quirks and the interest it offers. Whereas on here, because it's all highlighted in that rose gold, you really get to see everything. So I feel like this is really one of the special ones. Usually the oddities become more collectible. I'm talking to you. Yes, you are very distracting. I'm trying to make a video here. So the bulk of the steel is on the bezel. The bezel is screwed down, so these are proper screws screwing down onto that carbon core case, and then everything else is attached to it. And interesting, we've got some hex heads on this side. Look at that. And I must point out the crown. That is just absolutely stunning. And then you have the buttons there, all with that sunburst, and repeated on the other side. And look in between, we actually get to see some of the carbon core. Now that I like. I like how it has these guards underneath each button. This is to prevent you from unnecessary button pressing. I think it just looks great. I think it's for accidental button pressing. I like button pressing though. You really get to see the crown on this side. Now this is a very unusual crown because it doesn't turn. It's actually a button. So a crown being the crown guard. Well, that's original. Now this part here looks like it's all separate. It's not really part of the case. Looks like those two screws are just holding that in, kind of like an end link. It's upside down. So the strap, the strap is in a really nice sort of royal blue. And I like that it has that square cut off at the end. But the actual pattern is like little blocks or cubes. And look at the tapering on that. Oh, I like this keeper with the G-SHOCK on it. I really like that. Did I just say really like it? I love it. I don't think I need to take the raincoat off on this lovely traditional G-SHOCK buckle, but I do like that they've kept it sort of this design. I think it suits it. Gives it sort of that, I was going to say vintage, but now looking at the dial, not even vintage, is it? It's not even close. So, what deal would you do on this? I actually kind of like it. Do you think I should sign the back of this one so that whoever buys it actually sees that it's featured in its own very own video? How handsome would that be? Be worth double then. Wow, look at that on the inside. Oh, that is absolutely stunning. I've never really sort of looked at a carbon core, and I've just realized that this is my actual first carbon core featured on the channel. Proper screws on the back as well, so if you need to change batteries, that is handy. Oh, hang on, we've got quick release on the strap and on the other side too. I'm going to break this video into two sections. The first section is going to be all manual, and then in the second section it's going to be all the Bluetooth side, because yes, it does have all this connectivity, but the features it has, after looking through the manual, there's a couple of them that are very new to me, and one particular that I've never seen before on a G-SHOCK. So I think we should start off with that one. Before I go any further, in the manual, I want to tell you what the buttons are called. So adjust is called A, the light is B, the crown is C, mode is D, and find is E. Okay, you ready for this really unusual G-SHOCK feature? It has factory reset. I know, it's unbelievable, I know. Anyway, I'm going to show you how to do it, and it's going to do some other things as well. So just ignore that for the moment, because I will come back to it in more detail. Anyway, so this is home screen where you see the ticking second hand, and I'm going to press button A, the adjust button, just for a few seconds. It comes up with set, and then it comes up with my home city codes. Now just forget this for the moment and forget what the hands have just done. Now what I want to do is press the mode button down here, the D button. I'm just going to go through, and what I'm looking for is the one with the flashing seconds. Now this is in two stages, because the first stage will reset the Bluetooth, and then it goes on to the factory reset. So just bear with me here. It's long press on button B, getting that right, and then you'll see it will go a pair clear, and then it will go all reset, and then back to the flashing seconds, and then you release. Now the watch is completely cleared. Then just pressing adjust or button A, then it goes back to home time, slowly, just like that. Now, I would recommend to do a factory reset as soon as you get it out the box, you know, just in case. Also, the next one I would recommend is hand calibration, because I know this isn't looking correct. So, again, from home time, I'm pressing the adjust button, but this time I'm going to give it 5 seconds worth of pressing. So it goes to set, keep it pressed, and then it goes hand set, and then you can release, and there it's come up with sec, and it's flashing with the 00. So from here I can use button B and button E to adjust. So I can go backwards and I can go forwards. So what I need to do, or the aim of this game, is to have everything lined up to the 12 o'clock. So once you've got the second set, then it's pressing the mode button, button D, and then it goes to sub, which is the sub dial hand. And here I can just same again using the B and the E button, but I think I have to wait for the hands to stop, which I don't know how long it's going to take. How long are you going to take, hands? Right, now the hands are offset like this. Now I can adjust the sub dial. See the hand moving like this? And you can also just put a long press, and then it does like that for some reason, and then it just comes to a stop about there. It's quite handy. Anyway, so I want to get that lined up to the 12 o'clock position. Is that 12 o'clock there? Does that look about right? Yeah, that looks good. So once you're happy, you continue with pressing mode, button D. Now it goes to the hour and minute hand, and these two are connected. So I've just got to wait for those two to settle down. So far, everything was out of alignment. No, you are out of alignment. So let's press button B and get you very, very lined up like that. Now that is rocket o'clock. Everything is lined up, and now I can press the adjust button and that will come back out. Now that's interesting because now the battery indicator is pointing to medium. So in home time, I want to show you some little features it offers, particularly in the LCD display here. So by pressing button A once, it goes from time and it goes to the date. And there it's showing October the 27th and Tuesday, and then pressing again goes back to time. And there is actually no time limit for this. So as soon as you press it, it will just remain on the date. And if you want the time, it just stays on the date. And notice that the seconds are matching to the second hand. Next is the backlight, button B, and down in the corner here at the sort of 7 o'clock position, you have the little LED there. So if I give that a little press, you can see that illuminating, and it illuminates the LCD and the dial. So unlike the first one, the 100 version, that just illuminated the actual LCD, this actually does all the dial. Yeah, you could actually use that as a torch. So we're going to fire this at the wall. Look at that. Oh, wow, look at that. Hoo-hoo, that's bright. The next feature in home time is called hand shift. By pressing the light button B and the mode button D will shift the hands. So you press the light very quickly and then button D, and then it will shift the hands like so. It also would shift the hands in other positions, whatever's the most convenient. All it's doing is moving the hands away from the LCD and the subdial like this, and when it's in this position it will come up with hand flashing there. You can see it just as the second hand is obscuring it. This will hold the position for 1 hour, but if you want to release it before, then just press the light button and D again and it will take you back. And the last function in home screen is pressing button E. Just a quick press and it will show me my home city, which is wrong. It's actually showing it as Tokyo, but it just shows it like that and then goes back. So what I need to show you next is the adjustment screens. So in home screen, by pressing the adjust just for those few seconds, it comes up with set, and then it kicks off with my hometown or home city code. Now you can go forwards and back here, so that's nice and easy. So what I want to find is London. Now you can hold your finger down and it will skip through about that quick. So there's London, just go back, and that is London set, and you can see a little bit of scrolling there. So once you've got that set, press button D and it will go on to the next one. And this is daylight saving, so you have the option of auto, you can turn it off, or you can have it permanently on. I always like to have it on auto. Pressing button D skips the next one. Here I can adjust the seconds, I can adjust the hours, and I can adjust the minutes, and this is all using button B and E like so. And then moving on, pressing button D, we now have the year, and here we can change it, and I think it goes up to 2099, and you can do a long press like so. Nice and easy, just to give you an idea. I think I'd better set that properly, hey, 20 like that. Then once that's set, moving on, pressing button D goes to the month, and then the date, which is, yes, it's the 26th, and then back here, next one is the 12 hour, or you can have 24 hours. Like so, and this would give you a P indicator if you have it set in the 12 hour, just to point that out. So moving on from button D, we have this one. Now this is a very cool one. At the moment it's showing year, showing the month and the date. By pressing button E, I can shift the date to the month, and I can choose the month, the date and the year. Or how we like it in England, we like the day, the month and the year. So I'm going to choose that one because it's just easier for me. Then pressing D continues. Now we can change the language, and this is the language for the day of the week. So at the moment it's in English, we have Spanish, we have French, we have Deutsch, German, Italian and Russian. I think I'm going to stick with English. Pressing D continues. Now we have key, which is the tone. You can have this mute, or you can have it with the key like so. Pressing button D, you have auto, which is for the light, and it will have a little LT flashing up here, and you can choose whether to have it on or off, and this is the only place where you can adjust that. So pressing button D continues. Now we have the duration for the light. It's set for 1, which is 1.5 seconds, or you can have it on 3 seconds. So I'm going to choose 3 seconds because I like my lighting. So pressing button D continues. Right, this is RCV. This is basically turning the Bluetooth on or off. Well, in this case, I'm going to have it on. Now, that's interesting. I can't turn that on or off. You're going to thank me for this because I've just found out why it won't turn on. The reason why is because you need to make a connection with your device. And once you've got a connection, then you can opt to have the Bluetooth on or off after. So that is all normal like that. So from there, pressing button D, it goes to the power save mode. So let me explain how power save works. So once you've got that switched on, as soon as it detects that it's in the dark, and this will be in between the hours of 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. in the morning, it will hit that power save, and that will be level 1. So basically the screen will go blank, and the second hand will stop ticking and sit at the 12 o'clock position, and it will sit like that until you expose it to light or press a button. Now if you do nothing, it will sit like that up to 6 days, but it will enter the level 2 of power save, which means it will disable all the functions. So to really save the battery, just to let you know, when it's in normal power save mode, which is level 1, the Bluetooth will still continue and it will still update the time that way. Level 2, it will turn the Bluetooth off. So from power save, pressing button D, it's back to the home city, pressing adjust. Everything is adjusted. Oh, I just can't stop looking at it. It's really, really, really nice. Look at that. I like the gold. It's growing on me. Anyway, we need to get into the modes, don't we? So from home screen, pressing button D, I'm going to enter the first mode and watch the subdial as it goes to WT, which is the world time. Now, look at the hands. Look at you obscuring that digital display. But I'm going to mention something very cool. You can also move it through the modes. So by pressing button B and D, I can shift the hands. Look at it shifting away from that display. And note that it comes up with hand there as well. Now I want to know, what is that world time showing? So I just press button A quickly once, and it's just set on London, which is my hometown. Well, I need to adjust that. So pressing button E will move me on. So I have Paris, and then it goes through like so. And with a long press, you can skip through. Now, as I said before, it has 39 cities pre-programmed, or when it's connected, it has 300. Sorry, I just exaggerated there. It has 300, which I will show you later. I've got it set on Dubai, just pressing A just to make sure. Now, you can't go back just by pressing button B. That would just operate the light, so it's only going sort of easterly. You can press that once and show it as Dubai, or you can do a long press on A and it will go to set. And here you can adjust the daylight savings. You can have it in auto, off, on, and back to auto. And then by pressing button A, it will come back out. So you can adjust each of the city codes like so. Nearly 5 to midnight, and I'm going to crack on. So the next mode after world time, because I know it's on world time because of the subdial, it will go to the stopwatch. And again, the hands are in the way, so let me adjust those. And notice the second hand is always ticking through the modes. Anyway, this is a very cool stopwatch because not only is it 24 hours, it also measures 1/1000th of a second. And this will measure that for 1 hour. And then once it clocks the 1 hour, because it would be minutes, seconds and 1/100th of a second. And then once it's clocked 1 hour, so that would be 1 hour, that would be the minutes, and then this will become 1/10th of a second. So how do we start this beauty? Pressing button E, like so, and look at that flare up. Look how fast that's going. Wow, 1/1000th of a second. That's just start stop with the button E, and by pressing button A will give you a split, and it will give you a big split, fully worded as well. Look at that. And then by pressing button A it will unsplit. So I can stop that with a split, then I can stop the chronograph with the E, and then it does it like that, and then it stops flashing. Notice, let me just start the stopwatch. You see the icons are flashing like that, and when I stop the stopwatch you'll see that it goes split and then the icons are stopped, so you know. So that's your first split time. Pressing button A will give you the second, and then pressing A again will reset. So from stopwatch, looking at the subdial, pressing button D, it goes down to timer. And again, this is a 24-hour timer, and it will measure from 1 second to 24 hours. And even when the hands are moving, you can hand shift, and then it will go back like so. It actually goes forwards faster than it does going backwards, a bit like me. So as factory reset, it's already set on 10 minutes. So just by pressing E, it's a simple start stop, and notice that it does count 1/10th of a second there, like so, and you can just start stop, and then you can reset. You can start, but it doesn't reset while it's playing, so you have to stop and then reset. Now if you want to adjust the timer, just press A for a few seconds, comes up with set, and now I can adjust the hours going forwards and backwards using the light button, and then pressing mode will shift to the minutes like so. And I want to give you guys a little demonstration, so I'm going to take that to 0. Now I'm on the seconds. So if I go back the other way and give it 5 seconds, then pressing button D, it will go back to the hours. So once you've got it set, you press button A, and then it's ready to go. Let's shift those hands out of the way. Look at that. So 5 seconds. Let's hear what it sounds like. Like that. And like all G-SHOCKs, it's not going to be the loudest, but for 10 seconds it will alarm like so, and that's it. That's all you get for that. So from timer, pressing button D, we have the last mode, and this is alarm. Let me catch those hands and get them shifted out of the way. So the first one is the hourly signal, and that's with that logo there with the 00. By pressing button A, I can turn this on or off, and when I turn it on, you will have a little icon with signal, and then pressing button E will show me the first alarm, and then it comes back with the time and tells me whether it's on or off, and this will do it all the way through. And this has 5 alarms like so. So let me give you an example of alarm 1. So I can turn this on or off, and when it's on it comes up with the alarm signal like so. It doesn't have any snooze on there, just to let you know. So if you want to adjust this, it's pressing button A, and as soon as I press it, it turns the alarm on automatically on. I can't avoid it. So watch this. On, it goes to set, and then it comes through the hours. So you can adjust the hours forwards, and you can go with the light button backwards. Pressing button D will shift to the minutes like so, and then pressing button D, it has something different. Now you can have a daily alarm, which is like what you have on most G-SHOCKs. Pressing button E will shift this. You now have one called one time. So once the alarm goes off, that's it. It goes off and it won't come back on until you turn it back on. And then the next one is called schedule. Now this is going to be exciting. So to select this, you press button A, and then it goes to this feature. So what you can do, you could set the year of the alarm, so you can have it to go off on a certain year. You can also have it on the month, or you can have it on the date. So if I wanted to, I could have it to go off on the 1st all the time. If I wanted it to go off on a particular year, I can do it. I can make it go off on my birthday every year on my birthday. So I could actually time that. So if I have my birthday, if I put my birthday in, you would know what it is. So here's my birthday. I've just skipped it, and here it's coming up. It is September, and it is, I'm going to hold this down, keep it down, keeping going. Yes, I like high numbers. So the 30th of night. So if I set that every year on the 30th of September, the alarm will go off and remind me that it's my birthday. So I'm hoping you followed that. So if I, just for an example, put it onto the 2 dashes like that, that basically would mean that it will go off every day as a daily alarm. So if I wanted it to go off, say, every day in January, then I just set it for the 1st like that, and every day for February it will do it like so. But if I wanted a particular month, so for every February it will go off on the 1st. But if I wanted a particular year, then you have to go to this side. Now, it's much easier to explain this when I've got it connected to the app, and I think you're going to appreciate it more. So if I just set that back to 0 like that. So once you've got it all set, you just press button A, and then that is ready to go. So basically that's just going to be a daily alarm. Just like to point out that when the alarm is on and it's shown alarm there, when you shift to the second alarm, just for an example, you just have to wait for a moment to see if it's on or off. Otherwise it doesn't go blank like on some G-Shocks when you're scrolling through, so you know very quickly. So just got to keep going through like that. So I know signal is on, so I can just quickly toggle that off using button A, and then there is the alarm on for the first alarm, and now it's completely blank. And this is what the alarm sounds like. And like the timer, it will sound for 10 seconds, or until you push a button, any button. Now pressing button D will take me back to home time, and every time you're in home time, the sub-dial hand will always point to the battery. And talking of battery, when the battery gets low, the second hand will do a double tick, and when it gets extremely low and it needs charging, then the second hand will go to the 12 o'clock position and the screen will go blank. This is when you need to put it into sunlight if you can, or put it into a bright position. And once it hits the light, the second hand will turn and sit on the 57th second for some reason. Should have been the 69th second, hey? And then the display will come up with charge. Now for the connection of Bluetooth, and here it says connect. It even has a little arrow pointing to the crown button, and here it has R and the Bluetooth. Now R stands for ready, and the Bluetooth means it's going to be connected. Let's give it a go. So you're going to need the G-SHOCK connected app and then launch it. Now I have my arrangement on it already, so what I do, I go to the very top right corner here, and then at the bottom here it comes up with connect to new watch. So just select that and then scroll down the list, and I'm after the GST-B200. Let's open that up, and then it's indicating to push the crown in for 1.5 seconds. So let's give that a little go. And then it comes up with connect, and you can see the second hand has gone to the R. Now I need to register the watch with the app, and it's doing this like so. Still coming up with connected, and the second hand is up there. And now the second hand is gone to the Bluetooth, and I've purposely adjusted the hands so they were completely wrong. So now that should be correcting it exactly like you see on the iPad. While it's connected, the second hand will remain on the Bluetooth indicator. Now, looking on the app, at the top right corner, it will give you a battery level, and there you can see that it is on half. At the bottom you have guide, world time and utility, and at the moment it's selected on the world time. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to guide, and here I'm going to press view guide. Open view guide, and here you can have a look at some of the information. So in time mode, it's going to show you all what is available in time mode. You can go to world time and it gives you everything you need. So from timer, stopwatch, and also back to the alarm like that. Then pressing the arrow at the top takes you back to guide, and then you can go to world time, and here I have it on Dubai in the watch. So if I tap on that, it takes me to this menu here. Now I can scroll around on the map like that, or I can tap onto the search bar and actually have a look for the city like so. I can actually tap on the letter if I wanted to. It will do it like so. So if I wanted, say, Switzerland, I can just do it like this, Switzerland, and it's already come up with Switzerland with a list. So if I want Bern, Switzerland, I just select like that and it comes up. And I also have the option to adjust the daylight saving. I'm going to have it on auto, on or off. I'm going to cancel that. And then I can set this to the watch. So you just press the button there at the bottom, and then it's going to shift from Dubai. Notice that it's now 4:20 in Dubai. And then it's going to shift over to Bern, which is an hour in front. So 1:20. That is correct. And there it is. Now if I want to shift back, so I want to make my hometown or the home city Bern, I can swap it like this and it does it, and then I can just send that to the watch. So what a fantastic traveler. And then the hands are adjusted on the watch as well. So let's just change that back just to show you how quick that is. There you see some animation there on the app. Send the setting to the watch. You can see the second hand does a little swirl as well, I've just noticed. And there's the connect, and then the hands are adjusting. Then there's the utility is the last one, and here you can adjust the alarm and the timer. So if I just go into the alarm, and here you have all the alarms there. So if I just, for an example, I chose alarm 5, and you'll have this option here. So at the top you have the toggle, so you can have it on or off, and already it comes up with the send setting to the watch at the bottom. And here you can give it a title. At the moment it's alarm 5, but if I come back and I say did whoop, and then did the numbers at 69, and then press done, that will have the title stored like that. And underneath I have the options of either daily alarm, I have a one-time alarm, or I can have it scheduled. And here at the moment I've got it set at every year, every month and every day. That would be a daily alarm. So I can now turn these off if I want to, or I can just have it on with the year. So if I have it every year, that would be the October the 27th, and it will go off at midnight. And if I wanted it every month, it will go off on the 27th of every month anyway. So you get the idea. And from here I can go to timer, and I can adjust the hours, I can adjust the minutes, and I can adjust the seconds, and then I can just press this send to watch. So let's just do this as an example. So watching the watch there, watching the display, that's going to send, and then it's got timer. Okay, connected. So very, very quick indeed. At the top right corner there is a setting icon, so I'm just going to hit that. Then I'm going to open the GST-B200 and show you, look at these settings. So yes, it has phone finder. I will show you that in a moment. Then you've got operating check of auto time adjustment. Then you've got watch display settings. Let's have a quick look at that. Here you can change 24 hours, you can change the month, year. See, all these things you can change in the app. You even got time adjustment here. Look at that. So you can have time adjustment, which is every single day. Now, just to let you know, this will try and connect 4 times a day. So it will start off at 12:30 at night. Once it's got a connection, it will no longer look for another synchronization till the following day, just to let you know. Then you have the light settings here. It's all very sort of simple. Then you can also calibrate the hands as well with adjusting the home positions. Look at that. So if I wanted to adjust the sort of sub dial there, I have this point here, so I can now sort of do final tweaks like that. And then press done at the top when it's done, going back with the arrow just to give you an example. Next, go to phone finder settings at the top here. Here you have a sound list, so you can try the alternative future. So it's like that, midnight cruise or fly down. I think that's a cool one. So pressing the arrow will have it like that. And then you can override your device's volume just by adjusting here. So if you want it on super loud, just be careful if you've got headphones in. And pressing any button will disconnect the Bluetooth. There's also a demo mode, so if you don't have the watch, you can do it like this. Now, if you've got a G-SHOCK already connected, then it's going to show you the last G-SHOCK you have connected. But if you don't have one, I'm just going to show you. That is going to be the display you're going to have like this. So what you do, you go down, you choose the GST-B200, you open it like that, then you hit the star icon, and then you hit the demo mode here. You open that, then you select the GST-B200, and now you're in demo mode. To exit, just press the unset there. Here you can have a look at everything and adjust all the world time. You can look at the utility and have some real fun in there, but you don't get the other settings like the phone finder and all the other little things like that to adjust the actual watch. This is just the sort of main sort of features. Okay, in home time, I just want to show you something very quickly. So by pressing button D, going into the world time, it came up with burn. So I just press button A and there it is. Burn. Now you remember alarm 5 was whoop 69. Let's see if it's there. Whoop 69. Perfect. I've got the world time set on Paris, and I've also got all the alarms set as well. I've got them all turned on, including the hourly signal, just to give you an example. Anyway, so when I connect to the device, this will update the device as well, and this goes for anything you adjust, like the timer. In any mode, you can also do a quick time set just by a quick press on the crown, and then it returns back to the mode. Or you can do a longer press and actually make a full connection, and when you press any button, it will return back to that mode. So in home time, pressing the adjust button for a few seconds, going into the set. Now if I scroll through now and take it back to, do you remember this at the beginning? We went to this one here, the receive. Now you can see it's on. Now I can toggle this on and off, and so this is a bit like airplane mode if you need it. So I'm going to come out of that like so, and now I'm going to show you find my phone. You remember when I was in home time and I pressed button E, it will show me my home city, which is London. Now if I give it a longer press, it will come up on the display with find me, and then it will find my device and sound the alarm. By pressing any button on the watch, it will turn it off. And that is how easy it is to find your phone. And lastly, while you're in the mode, just to give you an example, say I was in the world time, with a long press on mode, it will come up with an arrow with time, and then it will always give you a double chirp and take you back to home time. So that is the, oh hang on, I haven't shown you the test screen. So pressing button A, E and D, it does this. Look at this. And it goes to all. And if you press button E, it goes through a little bit of a menu. SC, and you've got TLT, this is for the tilt test age. Then you got, maybe that's Bluetooth, then you got Bs, and then it goes back to there. But if you do it again, and then press button B, it now shows you the test display. Look at this. And by pressing button E, you can scroll through different test screens. So there's the first one, then you have this one, and then oddly you have this number, which is 5582. Now I thought that would be the module number, but it isn't. 5608 is the module number. Then it shows some more numbers. Then it shows some ROM, and then it shows a fill, then it shows some air, then it shows some daylight saving, and then it goes back to home time. Once again, thanks to Watcho.co.uk for sending this in for a review, and it was an amazing experience. I really do like this G-SHOCK, and the Rose Gold is really it's really taken to me. Anyway, I have to box this up and send it back to you, and it's a shame I haven't got longer with it, but it gives you a good idea of what it's like up close, and I hope all what I've covered is going to help you in the future. Maybe it's going to tempt you. As always, that is the Rose Gold GST time. Thanks for watching.